Hey everyone, on this episode I'm going to share with you the second part of my two-part series, A Complete Guide to Closing Costs. The first part was for the home seller, this part is for the home buyer. Welcome everyone to this episode of the Ask Jason Gelios show. I'm Jason Gelios, Michigan Realtor. Really appreciate you guys tuning in here. It means a lot to me that I get questions that fuel this show. Okay, I get questions all the time, daily, about, what's this, what's that? Can you share some tips? And so this is actually a second video, a two-part series that we did. The last episode that I did prior to this was, I believe it was episode 115, right? I shared a complete guide to closing costs for a home seller. Now, in this episode, I'm going to share with you a complete guide to closing costs for home buyers. So this is a big one. I get asked this probably the most because people want to know, okay, what goes on? What can I expect to pay? And so I want to share with you some of this. So let's go ahead and dive into this. I put together a list here. Title insurance premiums, right? You got to pay that. Make sure that title's good. Escrow fee. If you're doing escrow on your loan, there's a little bit of a setup fee that's from the lender, right? If you're escrowing taxes. A lot of lenders nowadays are actually escrowing homeowners insurance, so there's a cost to set that up. Document preparation, there's always a document prep fee. There are costs to have things filed and recorded and things like that. Notary fees, you gotta typically look out for that. For example, the title rep closing, she's a notary, he or she is a notary, things like that. Recording charges, that kind of ties in to the document prep. However, there might be a different form of recording fee. You as a buyer, you may have to pay for termite inspection, just depends on what your purchase agreement states, if you're having the seller pay for it. Some types of loans require the seller to pay that, but usually, hey, the buyer may have to pay that. Tax prorations, upfront taxes. So they calculate this when they have a closing date. The time you close to the next tax due date, that's what you pay up front. All new loan charges, right? So you have some like, there may be a change in your mortgage, maybe you change the type of financing because you had to halfway through the process, which is a little bit scary, but there may be an extra fee for doing that. Okay, so just that could happen. Assumption or change of records, if you're assuming a loan, there may be some other fees associated with that. Not common, but I wanted to share it. Beneficiary statement fee, that's if that applies. Inspection fees, this is the most common. So you will have to pay, and it's usually upfront. Home inspection, right? That's a third-party person coming out. They do their job in advance. You pay them upfront, but when they complete the job. And then appraisal. Most lenders will require that you make a payment for that appraisal before they even order it. So those are two of the most common right there. Which I want to make another note on that too, re-inspection fee, right? So for example, if you're going FHA, and by the way, this is negotiated in the purchase agreement if the seller is going to cover you. Most of the time it's the buyer, but a re-inspection fee. So if an FHA appraiser comes out and he says, oh, you didn't add a special GFI switch by the sink, right? Which is a safety thing. They have to come back out and re-inspect. So if the FHA appraiser has to come out again, there's usually a fee for that. Home warranty, if you're getting yourself a home warranty, if the seller's not offering to pay for that, you will have that fee. It's usually $400 to $500 for the first year, and then I believe most of them can be renewed annually for about $100. You don't have to have a home warranty, but hey, it's offered and it could be a fee. City transfer, conveyance tax, things like that. Fire insurance, you might have to have that depending on where the property is, but ultimately you're going to be paying upfront homeowners insurance for at least the first 12 months. And private mortgage insurance too, if you don't have 20% down or you're going FHA where you're putting less money down, or certain loans that, have to have private mortgage insurance on it or PMI, you're going to be paying that up front. It's most common with FHA. So that's my guide to closing costs that typically a home buyer would cover. So again, if you think that I missed anything, please share that in the thoughts in the comments below. There are always some things that could pop up, although you shouldn't be surprised because your realtor will guide you through. And your lender will give you an estimate based on the type of financing that you're going through. Different types of financing might have different fees. Might have less fees, might have a little more fees, but maybe it's benefiting you the best. But this is a pretty common list of things that you can expect to pay when you are purchasing a home. So I really appreciate you guys tuning in to this episode. You know what? Follow me on social media. Don't forget to hit the bell if you're watching this on YouTube. Really appreciate you guys submitting questions. And don't forget to share this with people that you feel will value from this episode. I'm Jason Gelios, Michigan Realtor, and make it a great week.